Hello. Oh, I don't even need these headphones right now. I was just testing the audio. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome. It is 2014, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to say that Hate Live, my ongoing podcast, which I started last year, is now officially out of its beta phase. That's right. To start 2014 right, I've decided to make some cool changes to the show's format. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently this particular show and in future shows as well, but I'm going to explain that in a moment. But the cool thing is we're out of beta. I feel now that with this particular episode of Hate Live that we've done enough improvements, enough things going on that it is now considered the finished podcast. This is basically episode 1 of the finished podcast, all right? So, today is Thursday, January 16th, 2014. We've got a lot to talk about. We haven't had a Hate Live in a month, so I hope that everyone had a great holiday and enjoyed your time off. And now we're all kind of back to the daily grind of whatever you do. And a lot of hot topics this week. Let me tell you, a lot of stuff going on. In particular with current events and with other stuff going on that we really need to discuss, especially very pertinent for gamers. 3 major stories that I like to talk about this week. But the big thing, the big change this time around is that we are going to have live callers tonight for the first time ever on Hate Live. So if you're watching this on Twitch TV, later on in the show, we're going to have a segment where on Skype, I'm going to be accepting open calls. People are going to be able to call me, and I'm just going to be accepting, and we're just going to talk about whatever. It could be on topic to what the news stories that we were talking about. It could be about me and my gaming content. It could be about the what's coming up this year. There's all kinds of stuff going on right now that we have many, many topics we can discuss. So that's going to be great. The first time ever I'm taking live callers on Hate Live. And because we're doing that, I've decided to forego the Back in the Day segment. And I know a lot of you are going to say, "Aw, we really like the Back in the Day segment. That's a shame." And I understand. I like the Back in the Day segment too. But I really want to give some time this time around for people to call in and give their opinions on the show, on my content, on current events, on everything. Because I've never had that before. So it's time for you, the people, to speak up. Okay? And that's going to be a little bit later in the show in our second segment. So how is the show going to work? Okay? How is the show going to work? Some people are saying the audio is not synced. There's going to be little minor bugs here or there. If the audio is not perfectly synced, next time around I'll test it a little bit to see if I can get the audio 100% perfectly synced. But people are saying it's tolerable. It's not that bad. I don't know. Well, again, I'm doing a different way. Actually, what I'm using right now for video is my webcam. It's actually not my camcorder, which I use usually for my vlogs, because this is the only way for me to do live video. The camcorder is not able to do live video. It's delayed. So I think what happens is maybe the webcam's a tiny bit delayed, and so I need to mess with that a little bit to get it perfect. But for the most part, I think we're going to be good. All right? So, how's the show going to work tonight? Well, segment 1 is going to be the same as always. I'm going to open up here. I'm going to talk about some things that are coming this year, in case you haven't been watching, like, for example, the week in preview or anything like that. There's some really big changes coming this year that I want to talk about, that are positive, great changes coming that I can't wait for. Number 2, I want to talk about what I've been doing recently with gaming, what's going to happen for the rest of January, because I'll be honest, this is a very slow time of the year. Unlike last year, where the beginning of the year was like, hit the ground running, this year it's just like dead. And so there's a lot of people who are just, foregoing, I'm not going to watch that particular playthrough because it's a downtime playthrough, and I'm okay with that. I've got a new philosophy for 2014 that I think you guys are going to really enjoy hearing about. And then we're going to talk about current events. We've got 3 big things right now going on the internet that are going to affect gamers big time. And one of them is a change on YouTube. One of them is kind of something that's always been, but in particular this week it kind of came to light with digital distribution, how it's changing things in regarding to this topic. And then number 3, we've got huge legal news from the United States government that everyone's going to want to hear and know about. It could effectively change a lot of stuff on the internet, and it needs to be discussed. I think it's going to be a hotbed of discussion tonight, and we're probably going to have a couple calls about it as well. So that's going to be segment 1, and then we're going to take a break. If you're watching on Twitch, it's just going to be a short commercial break. If you're watching on YouTube, no problem. Just kind of hang around and wait, and I'll actually have a timestamp in the description of the video where you can click and you'll jump right past the commercial break because it's just going to be dead air. When we come back, segment 2 is going to be all about you, the callers and viewers who want to interact with us in the show tonight. So I'm going to have Skype open. I'll tell you the information when we get to it of how you can actually do that. I'm not adding, I'll tell you right now, I'm not adding anyone as a Skype contact. So don't send me a contact invite. I'm not accepting any new contacts, but I will accept calls. So we're going to be doing that as a second segment. It'll probably, I'm thinking it's going to go maybe 30 minutes, maybe a little longer. We'll see how many people want to talk on Hate Live tonight. And then we're going to take a final break. And when we come back, we're going to have the live Q&A segment with the stream raffle. So what that means is that if you want to ask a question that could possibly be answered in the stream raffle tonight, right now on Twitch TV in the stream chat, go ahead and post up your questions. You know how to do it. I think it's exclamation point raffle and then your question. But I'm going to be serious about this time, guys. No silly questions. It has to be a real question, a serious question, and obviously something not so. Are you going to play this game? I mean, everyone always asks those. It's like, why are you asking me if I'm going to play a specific game? Obviously, I tell you guys all the time what I'm planning on playing. I prefer if you have intelligent questions, interesting things to say. I know we're going to get idiots who are going to be trolling. We always do. But understand that if you are, you're subject to being banned from stream chat because we're trying to have a real show go on here, okay? All right, so all that being said, let's get started with the first segment of Hate Live tonight. First of all, out of beta, it feels so good to be out of beta and to be at a level where I feel like this could be considered the official podcast. And I want to thank everyone who through 2013 kind of rolled with the punches and dealt with all the bugs and the problems that we had in 2013, because we had plenty of them as I was adapting to direct capture, to live streaming and all that. There was a lot of road bumps and a lot of things to overcome. And we've finally gotten through them, and I feel that I'm comfortable enough now with the technology that I can do cool stuff like this, all right? And the very first thing before I even go on to anything is I want to say it at least seems that my internet, which over the past year has been flaky, there have been times when I haven't been able to stream, there have been times when I haven't been able to upload videos, it's been a lot of problems and problematic for me, seems to have been repaired by my internet service provider. Now, it hasn't been perfect. This week I did have a couple blips here and there where I had uploading issues and frame drops, but it was few and far between versus I was having massive strings of time previously, hours and hours, sometimes days where I couldn't upload stuff properly. So I want to thank everyone who was very patient in 2013. I worked with my internet service provider this past week. I mean, fingers crossed that everything holds. I mean, tonight, right now, we've had no frame drops. Let's hope that it stays good for the foreseeable future, because moving on to the next topic, I already announced this is a big announcement earlier this year. I did it on the first day back from my break during the first week of January. This year I am moving out of Connecticut. This condo has served me well. As you can see, the brown couch, the dual painted wall that's not even a matching color, and everything that you've seen around this condo has served me well in the years that I've been here since 2009. It's been a great bachelor pad. But at this point in my life, I feel that I've progressed enough in my personal and my professional life that this place, I've outgrown it. Okay? First of all, just for the amount of stuff that I have, the stuff that I want to do, I have so many Blu-rays and DVDs that I have no space for them anymore. As you've seen, the models and stuff that I've bought over the years have accumulated. I have no room for them anymore. And just for my personal stuff, the equipment, the capture equipment and everything that I adopted over the past year, that setup is a huge mess. It's overhanging everywhere. I need to go to a place where I can have more space and it could be more neat and professional, and I have more shooting locations too. That's the thing. Right now, what do you have? My kitchen, my living room, my bedroom, and my bathroom, and that's it. If I had a bigger place and you have multiple bedrooms, I could have an office where I do all my gaming, and I could have a dual monitor setup for when I do PC gaming, so I can actually do proper PC gaming and I have to worry about, is the capture software working or not? And I could actually have all my live streaming equipment hooked up correctly and neatly and cleanly, and all micromanaged and cable managed is really important. And maybe even have a wall where I have a green screen and I could shoot stuff there, and I have different locations throughout my unit where I could actually film stuff. That's what I've always wanted, and I didn't have. I tried it a little bit when I first moved here. You saw some of that stuff, like in the original Project 7. I'm not talking the reboot, the original Project 7, when I was doing different rooms and stuff. The Christmas special that I just did for 2013, where I filmed it in my bedroom and half in my living room. That's the kind of stuff that I want to be able to do with a bigger place, and I could do it if I have a bigger place. That's number one. Number two, this place is not big enough for two people, and my girlfriend and I want to move in together. We're at that stage of our relationship that we're ready to move in, have an adult relationship, rather than me having to, have her take a train out here once a month for a week, not even a week. It sucks. Our long distance relationships suck. They do. I want to be able to do stuff with her, make plans. We have all these big plans of things we want to do. Start eating healthier, have cooking schedules, shopping schedules, all kinds of good, stuff, and start my own life. The bottom line is, it's been great living here, but it's time to move on to the next stage of my life. And I need to do that this year, and I'm happy to say to everyone that I've already begun steps towards that. We are talking with a realtor. We have looked at some homes already. We're already in that process, and it looks like this year I will be traveling with Pandali to potential locations in the United States where I may move to check out homes. And if we do that, we'll be vlogging the whole trips. It's going to be great. This year's going to be great, okay? That being said, being that moving is my primary focus this year, I'm going to make it abundantly clear to everyone that I do not really focusing whatsoever on doing things such as video game conventions. I know that in previous years I went to things such as MagFest and Too Many Games and SGC. The only one we're even considering really right now is SGC, because they were so gracious to us last year. But to be completely honest, I'm not going to bend over backwards talking to those guys to try to arrange to see if I can be a guest again. I did submit through the form on their website a quick request and said, hey, I was a guest last year. Would you like me back again? I'd love to be back. If they don't respond, or if I don't get like a definitive yes, then I'm not gonna sweat it, because I've got a lot more stuff to focus on this year regarding moving out of Connecticut to a better, bigger and better place that's cheaper. And this summer we've been planning this for years. We want to take a vacation to Las Vegas. Now, I've never been to Las Vegas in the capacity that I've seen Las Vegas. You might say, what do you mean? I have personally been to Las Vegas, I believe it was 3 to 4 times now, and I've never seen the Strip. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I openly admit it. Why didn't I see the Strip? Because back then, when I was younger, I was so focused on stupid-ass Street Fighter, and that's all I thought about. I flew out there for EVO, the national tournament, multiple times, and I never left the fucking hotels that EVO was in to go check out Las Vegas. I just stayed in the hotel and played Street Fighter all day. I'm stupid. I openly admit it. Why would you fly to Vegas, spend all that money, and not go check out Las Vegas? I was young and stupid. I have now matured. I'm to the point in my life where I want to go to Vegas for a Vegas vacation. I want to check out the Strip. I want to see the shows. I want to eat the food. I want to gamble a little bit. I want to live the life for like a week and just have a lot of freaking fun, and also to celebrate my girlfriend's birthday when that comes up. So it's going to be great. So that and moving are my focus this year. So really, that's where all my funds and all my that kind of stuff are going. So I'm not looking to do dramatic amounts of travel. That could come in the future. But this year, it's focused on moving and being very positive about the future. All right? Now, that being said, all that being said, some other stuff, some other changes this year. As you know, as I said already, January is a very dead month. Unlike last year, this year for gaming, January is extremely dead. There are no new releases at all. I'm not even joking. This week I'm playing an HD remake of a game that was on PS Vita. Next week we got a DLC. There's a possibility there's another DLC character for a fighting game. And there is a new game the last week, which probably is for a niche audience, and it's not going to catch everyone's attention. For whatever reason, game developers said, we're taking January off. And so for me, what this is for me is a unique opportunity to play games that I've wanted to play for a while and haven't had a chance, to maybe play a game that's going to get me caught up on a series that there are sequels coming out very shortly, and to do cool filler projects that I'll be admittedly, not everyone's going to want to see them. All right? You probably, if you're not a fan of RPGs, you're probably real bummed out this month that so far I've primarily played RPGs. And I completely am on the same page as you, and I understand. So let me explain what I've been working on. For the past several weeks, I've been doing an ongoing playthrough of Blue Dragon, which is a Japanese RPG that was made exclusively for the Xbox 360 by Akira Toriyama, was the character and art designer. Nobuo Uematsu was the composer. He's the composer from the classic Final Fantasy games. And I believe it was the writer Hideki I forget the guy's name, but he was also involved. Like all those old school JRPGs, they made a modern RPG out of the old school JRPGs. I loved it when I played it in 2007, so I'm doing a playthrough of it on YouTube. But the game's very long, and a lot of people who gave it a chance are kind of like, well, I'll pass at this point. It's too long to watch. I'm also doing concurrently with that a playthrough of Dragon Age Origins, which is a game that people asked me for years and years to play. I felt this was the perfect time to play it because right now there's nothing out that I'm skipping to play this game. I know it's a long game. And in addition, Dragon Age Inquisition is supposed to come out later this year. So this gives me the perfect background and information and frame of reference for when that comes out. I know exactly what's going on. All right. In addition to that, I tried this new indie game called Don't Starve. It really isn't new. It's old because it's been out for PC for like a year, but it just came out on PS4 as a free game for PS Plus users. I've been playing that significantly. I think I've done 3 streams of that over the past several weeks, and I'm not done with it yet. I got an ongoing run that I need to continue. And in addition to all that, I've been playing more NBA 2K14, although I've hit a game-crippling bug that it's unclear whether or not I'll be able to clear it up. But for now, I'm not really too concerned about it. I'm taking a break from it. And I have resumed playing Fallout 3, and as of this week, Fallout 3 Fridays are back. So what this means is that every Friday on second stream, I'm going to be playing some more of Fallout 3 for the foreseeable future. The only exception would be if like John Rambo was visiting on a Friday instead of a Saturday, then I'll switch it out with Saturday. Similarly to how I did the playthroughs of Dark Souls and Demon Souls last year, okay? And so, it's going to be fun, and, me resuming this playthrough that's been going on for quite some time. I've got a couple DLCs left to do, the end of the game, and then the DLC that happens after the end of the game. I've actually done all of the side content in the game to the point where I got every achievement for it, which is freaking awesome because I didn't do that in any of my original playthrough or even my return to Fallout 3 that I did later. I didn't do any of that stuff. So I had a lot of fun doing that. Now it's on for the DLCs, the conclusion, and the side content. I assume it's still going to take a couple months to get through, but it looks like we may finish it in the near future. And also, this weekend, for the first time in a month, John Rambo is going to be here for co-op. He will. He's going to be here for Smart Guys, our wrestling commentary show, which we haven't done in 100 years, and also for Super Mario 3D World. And going along with all this, any of you who've been watching my content on YouTube or even the streams recently might say, gee, Phil's views are down. He's not getting a lot of views on the videos for these playthroughs. His streams aren't getting a lot of views. I wonder what's going on. And the bottom line is this. I knew that January was going to be this slow. I knew that no matter what I played, because there's no new content right now, no new games that people are dying to see, that it's going to be time for me to try to fill dead air. And it's tough. It really is tough to fill dead air and entertain you when no one's really chomping at the bit for anything. There's some people that are loving the Dragon Age Origins playthrough, but a lot of people aren't because they're saying it's an old game. I don't want to see that. And it's an RPG. I don't like an RPG. This week in particular, I'm actually playing Assassin's Creed Liberation, which is the HD remake of the PS Vita game that I have over there that I never even played. And I'm playing that. A lot of people are I hate this. It's boring. Well, it's Assassin's Creed. It's playing exactly like Assassin's Creed 3 and 4 without the ship combat. So yeah, if you don't like that, it's boring. And a lot of people are all Assassin's Creeded out. So I knew no matter what I played this month, this was going to happen. So I'm not upset. I'm not angry or sad or anything. And no, I'm not in dire financial straits where I have to worry about, oh no, my views are down this month. I don't. I'm fine. And I said this is an attitude change for 2014, and I'm sticking to it. I think it's going to help me in the long run. The attitude change is this. This year, I'm playing games for the enjoyment of playing games. I'm not playing games to make money. I'm not playing games to have views. I'm not playing games for popularity. I'm not playing games to be the best at something or the worst at something. I'm playing games to enjoy games again. That's the philosophy I had back in 2008 when I started recording. I didn't give a shit what I was playing. As long as I was having fun, I would keep playing the games. And some people didn't like stuff I played. Some people liked stuff I played. I didn't care. I said, I'm just going to record and upload. And if people watch, they watch. If they don't, they don't. This is just for me. It's my hobby. Now, for me, yes, this is my source of employment. This is my source of income. So it's an added bonus for me that I do get views and I am making money doing this. But it's not a major concern right now during a dead month like January that, oh no, Phil's views are out the ass. Of course they're not. I didn't expect them to be. And I'm not like these other YouTubers who a lot of them have like a primary game they focus on. I'm not just the Call of Duty guy, just the Minecraft guy. I do a wide variety of stuff. So when there is downtime like this, I'm going to pick and play games that I want to play because I enjoy them. And right now I can tell you, I'm loving Dragon Age Origins, even though it is kind of more difficult than Dragon Age 2 and much different. I like it. And I love that I'm getting the backstory of the series for when Dragon Age Inquisition comes out later this year. Blue Dragon, I've always wanted to do a playthrough of ever since I, originally started doing videos for YouTube. Assassin's Creed Liberation, I'll be honest, it's dragging on a little bit, but it seems like one more stream, I'll be done with it. I'm still enjoying it. I'm not disliking it. I like the story of Evelyn, the first female assassin ever in the series. And I like the game, but a lot of people are choosing to skip it. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm having fun, and as long as I'm having fun and enjoying the games, that's all I care about. And that's the attitude that I should have had since day one. I shouldn't have let myself get distracted by all these worries about, oh no, am I going to get pay cuts? And are people making fun of me on the internet? I don't care. I don't fucking care about anything but me sitting here with a controller in my hand, playing a game, making jokes, having fun, and you watching and sharing along that experience with me. Period. That's it. That's all I give a shit about. So that's that. That's my new positive attitude for 2014 moving ahead. And I think in the long run, it's going to benefit me really well because people are going to say, gee, Phil really is here just to play what he wants. And I'm not going to have to go here and hear bitching about negativity and all this and that because I'm ignoring that bullshit from now on. I don't care. Okay? All right. So, that being said, what to expect in the near future? Well, tomorrow it looks like I'm probably going to beat Blue Dragon. Okay? And when I do, that means that obviously that playthrough will conclude over the next several days on my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming, where I upload all my game footage. Tomorrow night is Fallout 3 Fridays, right? Saturday, John will be here for Co-op Super Mario, and that's another reason. That's why I'm continuing with the Super Mario 3D World Co-op, despite the fact that I really hate Nintendo right now. I think they make great games, and they have horrible business practices. I'm still going to play the games, because it's all about the enjoyment of games. It's not about the drama and the bullshit, all right? And then Saturday and Sunday, I'll probably be finishing stuff up, trying to finish up Assassin's Creed Liberation. I'm sorry, Sunday and Monday. I'll probably be trying to finish up Assassin's Creed Liberation, play more Dragon Age Origins. People are saying I'm more than halfway through it at this point, but it's still going to take a significant amount of time to beat it. So I'll probably be doing that. And then this next week, we've got DLCs and stuff coming up, and I'll talk more about that in the weekend preview. I don't want to bog you down too much with it, but that's the rough idea of what to expect in the next several weeks, and that's why, regardless of the fact, if you've jumped on a stream in the past few days and said, oh, gee, Philly's only got like 300 views, and he's playing Assassin's Creed, I can't believe it, what's going on here? It's because people are just burnt out on Assassin's Creed. I just did 4. I just did the DLC for 4. Now there's another one out. It's really poor timing on their release-wise, but I like it, so I'm playing it. Okay. Oh. Also, I like how some people are like saying stuff to me in the chat, and I don't read the chat. I'm in a podcast, dude. Do you think that there's a chat running in front of me? Like, why are you talking to me through the chat? I can't respond. I love these people. Oh, but Phil, I'm doing a podcast. I can't respond to you, dummy. These people. This would be a great question for the stream Q&A raffle or to call in later. All right. Okay. So now we've got a few news items to talk about that I want to flesh out right now and give you the skinny and my opinions on them. And then what we're going to do, like I said, take a break, and then we're going to have the opportunity to call in and talk about these news items, all right? So the first one is impending on YouTube, a change that we've known about now for about 30 days, and some users are very, very much dreading this change. Now, a month ago, we had these major changes on YouTube where all of a sudden, anyone who wasn't considered a managed partner got crazy amounts of content ID matches on their stuff. And it was ludicrous because most of it wasn't legit. It wasn't like a game company was actually trying to claim your video and get ad revenue from your work. No, it was just an automated system that YouTube rolled out, and it's pretty much a mess. At least in the past 30 days, we've figured out ways, if you have problems with third-party music and stuff like that, that you can fix it and you can reclaim your videos. So it's not as bad as originally thought, but for some people, it's still going to be a huge concern, especially if you're not lucky like me. And I openly admit, I'm extremely lucky that Machinima, who is the partner company that I'm partnered with, cherished my work over the past several years so much and really liked our partnership so much that they said, we were going to make you a managed partner, and they did. Okay? So I'm still upset about the situation, but for me, it's business as usual moving forward. But understand that even though my gaming channel, DSP Gaming, is protected, my vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, is not. I do not have any protection on that channel. It is not considered a managed channel. And so some of the impending changes coming up are going to affect me. In fact, I've already been affected. One of my vlogs, the Hate Live episode from back when it was the PS4 launch, if you guys remember, I actually played the theme from 2001 A Space Odyssey in the beginning of the video to show my montage of PS4 graphics and stuff that I was going to use during the launch. Guess what happened? They flagged that not for being the song from 2001 A Space Odyssey, but from being the song that WWE licensed as Ric Flair's theme. So not even the people who actually have rights to the song claimed the song. So I ended up having to remove that song from the video to get advertising rights back on the video. It was it's a mess for everyone. But that's not the change I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is the new change coming that I think a lot of people forgot about amongst all this content ID match madness. The new change coming, which any day now is supposedly supposed to be instituted. They said it was going to be mid-January, and at least I haven't noticed it yet, is that if you're not a managed partner and you're uploading videos to YouTube, there is a chance that your video may be caught in a review system. Now, what this means is that before your video goes live on YouTube, a physical human at Google, is going to watch your video and look to see if there's any copyrighted content in it. If they identify copyrighted content, they will not make the video live. They'll stop that video from going live. Now, the problem here isn't that necessarily people are afraid, oh no, we're going to get flagged for copyrighted content. The problem is they're saying that the process could take up to 48 hours after you upload the video. So I've got to update for Monday, and it might not go up till Wednesday. I'm doing an ongoing video game playthrough, and half the videos may not go live for 2 more days, but the other ones will. It could be a huge fucking debacle and a mess. And I think it's completely unfair. I think that what YouTube has done, unfortunately, is they grew so big, they said, fuck it. No one's suing us for anything. No one really cares about what's going on. Just let anyone upload whatever the fuck they want, and if we get sued, we'll take it down. But now they actually did get sued. This big music company sued Fullscreen, who is a partnership network on YouTube, and subsequently that trickles into YouTube, and YouTube said, oh fuck, well now it's a mess because we've got how many millions of videos being uploaded a day, and there's no way for us to monitor every video and see if there's actually copyrighted content in it. So to appease the lawyers, they're saying we're going to start this selective system. Now, supposedly, if your video gets cleared and you don't have any issues with copyright, you'll have less videos selected. There's a chance some people may never have their videos selected. But it's a huge mess. What if tonight, with this episode of Hate Live, I go to upload it and it gets stuck for 2 days? People will be pissed. You know what I mean? What about people who have timed stuff that they need to have go live and they can't have it go live relatively quickly? It's bullshit. And so it's impending. And I'm going to be right along there with you guys. If you're not managed partners on YouTube, I'm right there alongside you because I have this non-managed channel and I'm going to be experiencing the same thing as you. And if I could find workarounds for it, like for example, if your video gets flagged, maybe you could just fucking delete it and re-upload the same video. You know what I mean? And hope it doesn't get flagged the second time. I don't know. I'm going to try to be finding workarounds, just like I did with the content ID shit a month ago, if it starts affecting me. And I'll be trying to share that information with you so that you obviously know what to do if this is affecting you in a negative light. But I wanted to review that because that is coming soon. I don't want anyone to be blindsided, like, what the fuck does this mean? That's what it is, and it's supposed to be coming this month. If YouTube follows through with what they were saying, who knows if they will, okay? All right. The next topic I want to talk about it has actually always been a controversial topic, but it really was brought to light this week with the release of a game that was crowdfunded. So let me give you the background of the situation I'm talking about. Some of you might recognize the name Tim Schafer. Tim Schafer is a longtime game developer, well-known, well-regarded in the industry. He's come out with some of the biggest classic cult hits, such as Maniac Mansion, The Secret of Monkey Island 1 and 2 on PC. Later on, he went on to make games on consoles, including more recently Psychonauts and Brutal Legend. And he was actually the head director for the game Costume Quest. So he's done some really, really successful stuff and some stuff that wasn't as successful but still had like a cult following. So for his next project, which was going to be a point-and-click adventure game for the PC, he was seeking public funding. He says, I don't want to do it with these big publishers anymore, especially after what happened with Brutal Legend, where a lot of people liked the game. The game actually reviewed very highly, but for whatever reason, it didn't sell very well. He said, I'm ready to do it myself because I'm tired of hearing the bullshit from corporate America. So he went to Kickstarter, and he started a few years ago a Kickstarter campaign for this new game he was going to make. And within, within the time of the campaign, it was only supposed to raise $400,000. He raised $3.3 million. Unprecedented. At the time, I think they said it was the fastest or the second fastest growing Kickstarter ever. Okay? So he made an announcement. He says, in honor of this being such a successful campaign, anyone who donated was going to receive advanced access to the first episode of this game when it comes out. So years have passed. The game's been in development. It's finally, going to come out in January. It's called Broken Age. And so it was announced this week, this Tuesday, anyone who had donated to this campaign was going to be receiving a key to enter into Steam, and you would get an advanced copy of episode 1 of the game through Steam this week. And basically, he was saying it was going to be a 2-week window. The game will actually go on sale 2 weeks from then, so you get 2 weeks to enjoy the game before anyone else. So everyone's like, this sounds great to us. So everyone's sitting around waiting. Gee, this is great. I'm going to get to play the game first. I'll get to review it. This will be great. I'll get to spread the word about the new Tim Schafer game. And then all of a sudden, Tuesday morning, an email goes out from Double Fine Productions, which is the studio who is under Tim Schafer, his development studio. And the email basically says as follows. It says, Dear donator, thanks so much for being a part of the Kickstarter campaign. The game's ready to go. You're going to get your 2-week advanced access in just a few short hours. We're going to send out the keys. But here's the catch that we didn't tell anyone. We're putting an embargo on this game, meaning you cannot share videos of it, you cannot live stream gameplay of it, and you cannot review it until January 27th, 2014. And that's because that's the date when it actually comes out for release for everyone else, and we don't want people spoiling the game before then. The internet went into an uproar because people said, wait a minute, now this is bait and switch. You told us during the campaign when we were donating that we were going to get advanced access to the game, and you never mentioned any kind of an embargo for us. In addition, that's not even part of the contract. The contract was, I donate, you give me a copy of the game, period. You can't add terms to a contract, a legal agreement later on. So a lot of people said, fuck it, we refuse to abide by this situation. And a lot of people went right ahead and recorded it and were uploading videos to YouTube. A lot of people, including some big streamers like Far From Subtle and other people, were actually just doing it anyway. Fuck it. Even PC Gaming Mag did it. PC Gamer reviewed the game and had a review that was coming out. And so all of a sudden, Double Fine said, well, I guess we're kind of boned here. We should have thought this through better. And within a few hours, they actually released the embargo and said anyone can do whatever they want with the game who has it now. Okay? So this brings up a hotbed of controversy for multiple reasons. First of all, embargoes in general. The fact that companies will tell you you're not allowed to record or do Let's Plays or do a review or do a live stream of our game until a certain date and time. Now, why do embargoes exist? It's fairly simple. Game publishers don't want their games being leaked before people can actually buy them and play them. If you knew the plot for The Last of Us 2 months before the game came out, chances are you might not be interested when the game comes out in getting the game. So I can understand why they might be a little upset about people who get advanced copies of these games and they do advanced reviews and they do leak all a bunch of information, and then they feel like maybe their sales are negatively affected by it, okay? I completely understand that situation. And I would say for retail games, it makes perfect sense. So no one should be able to go and get Call of Duty 3 weeks before it comes out in a store. If they do, it's one of two ways. Either they fucking stole it, which is completely illegal, all right? They bought it from a store who sold it in error, which, by the way, is also illegal, regardless of the fact that if anyone's ever been prosecuted. If you buy a game before release date, street date, that's illegal. And number 3, you got a review or advanced copy of the game because there was a good faith agreement between you and whoever sent it to you, the game developer, that you would not leak the information of that game. And if you make advanced gameplay and or advanced reviews or advanced anything of the game, it's illegal. So I don't think people seem to understand. It's ridiculous. It's an unfair business practice. Basically, you're only doing it to try to get the jump on other people anyway and say, oh, I played the game 2 weeks before anyone else. Watch my playthrough on YouTube, which I put ads on and I make money on. And this is what I mean. Since YouTube started, it changed from, oh, this is the website where people go to put up videos and have fun and vlog and share their gaming experiences to, gee, how can I completely bypass laws and bypass the system that everyone else gets a game so that I can get a playthrough up first and I can make money on it? And that's what do it. When it comes to this, that's when all of a sudden things go wrong, and that's what's happening right now on YouTube and on Twitch TV, okay? Now, the reason that this situation is so unique is that it wasn't a retail game. It wasn't a game that you can go buy at a store. This was a digitally distributed game. So there was no purchase. It was people who using Kickstarter to donate for this game, to get an advanced copy. And the question is, what was the right thing to do? Should those people who donated have respected the wishes of Double Fine and said, fine, thanks for letting us play the game 2 weeks early. We'll record it or whatever, but we won't release our reviews or our footage for 2 weeks? Or were they in the wrong for those who said, fuck off, we're just going to do whatever we want because you didn't tell us ahead of time that this was going to be an embargo? Or is it Double Fine's fault? Is it shame on Double Fine that all of a sudden last minute someone said, oh yeah, we should probably put an embargo on this, oh shit, and then when they tried it just failed miserably because so many people were upset about it? Who's really in the right? And the thing is that I can see multiple perspectives. I can see both sides of the fence because I can see a business perspective, being from the business world in my background, but I can also see from the gamer's perspective how it's a bait and switch and it doesn't seem to be very fair. So I don't know in this particular situation if there's a party that was correct. And actually, I'd like in the call-in segment, if you guys have any opinions on that situation, I'd definitely like to talk with that about you because I want to hear what you think about that situation because it is a really weird one. Now, in my particular case, I wasn't going to play the game advanced anyway because I didn't donate to the campaign. There was actually a viewer of mine who said he was going to donate his code so I could play the game. And I said, that is so nice of you, great. But then when this word of this embargo came out, I said I wasn't going to play it. So he went ahead and redeemed the code. And then, of course, the embargo got lifted. And he's like, oh, crap, sorry, Phil, I already redeemed the code. So I ended up not playing it. More than likely in 2 weeks, I'll be checking it out. I like Tim Schafer games. We're still going to be in a dead time of the year. It's not like it's going to be interfering with any other major release. So I'll probably more than likely be checking out Broken Age when it is released widespread on Steam for everyone in a couple weeks. But I really am interested in your opinion on who is in the right in this situation. Okay? All right. Now, the final topic of the night, which is going to be probably the most controversial, because it just came out of the news in the past day or two. It could possibly change the way the internet works. However, it's only going to affect, for now, the United States. So I just want you to understand that if you're not a United States citizen, you're not going to be affected by what happened. However, I know a lot of my viewers are United States citizens. So let me explain to you what's been going on. There's been this ongoing legal battle, this ongoing just campaign by communications companies to eliminate net neutrality. Now, if you don't know what net neutrality is, as of this week, anything that was on the internet, it could be anything, a porn site, it could be the Pirates Bay, but it could be legitimate businesses too. It could be things like YouTube, things like Twitch TV that use up lots of bandwidth. Basically, it was stated in law that an internet service provider has no legal right to block or limit the internet, period. That if you're providing an internet service to someone, if I'm paying my internet service provider for internet service, that I need to have access to the full internet without any kind of regulation, without any kind of exception. I can go wherever I want on the internet. Now, other countries don't have this. In China, they sure as hell don't have this. In a lot of countries where have more oppressive governments, they don't have net neutrality. They have net regulation. But in the United States, we've always enjoyed net neutrality. All right? This week, huge legal news coming out of our federal government here in the United States. 3 federal judges have ruled that net neutrality no longer exists and that ISPs may regulate the internet. Now, the thing is that, again, this is very similar to the situation with SOPA and PIPA and all those laws years ago that we all rallied against and we got shut down and they never made it out of our lawmaking bodies here in the United States. There's good intentions behind what they're trying to do. I can certainly see that there may be situations where there are malicious things out there that an ISP might want to block. Maybe they want to stop hackers. Maybe they have an idea of why they want to end this complete net neutrality. All right? So in that regard, I can see there's probably good intentions behind what's going on in this legal battle. The problem is, once again, just like with SOPA and PIPA, instead of saying before we make a legal ruling, we need to hash out a detailed list of rules of what is and isn't protected, what is and is not covered to protect the common user. Our federal government, in all of their wisdom, said, fuck it, just change it, just let it be. And I don't know why we have these people in power in the United States that don't understand the fucking situation, yet they're the ones that make the decisions, or the laws for that matter. How can you have a lawmaker say, just completely dissolve net neutrality with no limitation? None. No, oh, no, okay, we'll limit the power of the ISPs for this situation. That, no, they just rule against it. It's like, are you out of your fucking minds? And I'm so tired of living in a country that fucking repeatedly does shit like this, because these people are not all-knowing authorities. 3 federal judges. Do you really think that any of those federal judges went and did any fucking research on what they were ruling on? Do you think they went and talked to someone who uses the internet all the time, someone who might know something about it? No, they know everything, right? And they just fucking rule. It pisses me the fuck off. So, what does this mean? First of all, it means that right now, your ISP, if you live in the United States, has the ability to basically change the way that the internet works for you. They can literally right now say, well, we've decided that since you're using, I'm just going to use this as an example. Since you have AT&T internet, we've decided that we're going to block out the Verizon website. Yeah, fuck them. Fuck Verizon. We don't want anyone who has AT&T internet going to their website and figuring out if they have a better rate than us or better speed than us. Fuck them. We'll just block them. This is what I mean. When you have no regulation, that's a Wild West, and you can't just do that. And this is what I mean. They could seriously do it. They could say, well, we've been taking a look and we realized that people who go to YouTube all the time, that kills a ton of bandwidth because people are just watching videos all day. And that Twitch website, oh my God, that Twitch TV thing, that thing's terrible because that is horrible. It's online, constant bandwidth being used with live video. So we're just going to block those websites. Huh? You know what I mean? Like, what? It's out of control. That yes, they could do that. Or they could limit your use. They could say, well, you'll have access to Twitch 8 hours a week, and after 8 hours we cut you off. And you can't see Twitch till next week. And they have the ability to do this. They can do it right now if they want it. Now, luckily, hopefully, no companies have plans to do shit like this yet. This is all hypothetical. But it's a scary thought to think that you've put this kind of power into the hands of ISPs. It really is nonsensical. All right, excuse me. The other thing is that an ISP can now say, well, since we have the ability to do whatever we want, and it's basically no more net neutrality, we can make it so that the access to everything on the internet that you need can go to this big corporation 24/7 all day every day, but then the normal common users of the internet don't get it. So this corporation will get unlimited bandwidth basically of whatever they want on the internet because they pay us a shitload of money to use the internet, and the little guy gets fucked over. And it's like, this is just, it's insane to think about that they're doing this. Now, a couple things. First of all, number one, I don't want to be like Chicken Little, the sky is falling, because it's not. No ISPs have come out and said that they have plans to do this stuff yet. All right? In fact, like I said, more than likely, there's a very good intention behind what's going on with this legal battle. It's probably there's a certain hacker assholes who they want to be able to stop. There's certain websites that they know there's tons of hacker activity, and they see DDoS attacks coming out of certain parts of the internet all the time, and they want to stop that shit. So more than likely, they're going to go for that stuff first. But when you give unlimited power, what's the saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know eventually there's going to be some kind of power abuse when it comes to this. Now, I actually got a communique, I'm just being stupid, an email from Demand Progress this week. If you don't know what Demand Progress is, it's the nonprofit organization who contacted me way back when in 2010 and 11 regarding SOPA and PIPA. They told me about the situation and they urged me to speak up. I did. I made a big video on my YouTube channel about it. I made it my featured video for weeks. The video got over 600,000 views, helped spread the word to millions of people on the internet. And after actuality, what ended up happening was it went viral, went to mainstream media. SOPA and PIPA got shut down. And I'm not saying I'm taking credit. I'm just saying I'm one of the people that helped to spread the word about it. So Demand Progress told me, and I told my viewers, and it just created this big spider web of disseminating the information. They contacted me again and they said, did you hear about this? Here's the situation. And they said, there's actually a quick fix for this whole situation. If the FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission in the United States, it's a regulatory body that regulates things like television, telephone, movies, internet, all kinds of stuff. If they reclassify the internet as a communications medium similar to telephones, then guess what? The whole thing would go away, because the legal battle wasn't not specifically for, say, internet, it was for whatever the internet is classified as right now. So if they can get the internet reclassified as a communications form of technology rather than whatever it's classified as now, the law wouldn't apply, and therefore net neutrality would come right back. So when you think about it, when you're on the phone, it's not, AT&T, if you have AT&T phone service and you're on the phone, they can't decide to cut out part of your conversation because you're talking about something they don't want you to talk about. So it's the same kind of deal. As long as, you can't call a number, AT&T has blocked this number. No, they can't do that. So it's the same thing with the internet. If they can get it reclassified, they wouldn't be able to block parts of the internet again. So that's really what everyone's trying to get to happen. Demand Progress is trying to get people to campaign to the FCC to get the FCC to reclassify this quickly, so that these ISPs, all of a sudden, some idiot, and it always is. It's one or two idiots at the high ends of these companies that think they know better than everyone else. I've got an idea. Listen to me, my panel of yes men. I've got an idea. This is great. This new law came out. This is net neutrality is done. Let's fuck everyone over and let's get rid of this and that. And it's just, it gets out of control because of that. So let's hope that the FCC will do the right thing. Or, let's face it, this is the United States. Even though 3 federal judges ruled something, I'm sure that a bunch of lawyers right now are immediately working on this, trying to find a loophole, trying to find a way to appeal it, so that come, a week or two, they'll be refiling appeals and shit up the ass, and they can get it tied up in legal hell to the point where it just gets killed. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know about the legal end of it, but this could be bad, all right? And it's a hotbed. It's just starting, just happened this week, and we've seen no effects yet. Once the effects start trickling in, will ISPs start limiting people from using YouTube, from using Twitch, because they're high bandwidth, you know what I mean? It's unprecedented, but it could happen. So let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. But again, this is the biggest controversy coming out of the internet and gaming this week, and it's a big thing. It's a very big thing. Okay, so that's it for the first segment of Hate Live tonight. Right now, I'm going to take a short break. I'm actually going to refill my drink because I'm about to do a lot of talking, I know. We're going to do a short commercial break here on if you're watching on Twitch. Just hang out. When we come back, we're going to be doing the segment on the taking Skype calls, and I'll explain how to do that when I get back, okay? So if you're watching this on YouTube and you want to watch the next segment, I've got a timestamp right there in the description of the video. Give it a click, jump ahead, skip the break, all right? So I'll be right back, everyone, with more Hate Live. Don't go anywhere. Rest easy. We'll be right back with the very first call-in segment ever. I'll see you in a little bit. Be right back. Okay, everyone, welcome back. This is segment 2 of the Hate Live podcast for January 16th, 2014. This is officially the call-in segment. So how we're going to do this is I'm about to get my headphones on, and we're going to be accepting calls here live on Skype. The Skype name is DarksidePhil or DarksidePhil@hotmail.com. It's one or the other. I don't even know how you register for Skype or any of that shit anymore. But as of right now, I'm going to switch over to my dual setup screen. Here we are, and I'm going to try to be taking live calls, so go right ahead. If you guys want to shoot me a call, try to call me on there, and if it pops up here on my computer screen, I'll accept it, and we'll see what people want to talk about tonight. Could be about anything. Could be about what's going on the show, what kind of content I'm going to be putting up soon, any of the hot topics that we just talked about. Let's go ahead and do it. And I have no idea how to do it, so I'm just going to wait and see if anything pops up. Here we go. Aha! Hello.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, what's going on, sir?
Not much. I'm actually at work right now, but I wanted to shoot you a couple of questions.
Cool. All right, hold on one second. Let me get your logo up here so everyone knows this is Gamer J Lee, Jordan, who I met at.
I'll put up my logo instead of my camera since I'm at work.
Right. Yeah. No problem. Here we go. Yes, I actually met him at SGC 2013, and really cool guy. I've been talking with him, basically kind of helping him along with certain things on YouTube and Twitch over the course of the past year. Just recently, last week, I did a short interview with him over on his YouTube channel. So what's going on, man?
Well, not much, but I have something to say to the DSP community. Me and Chewbacca have been working on a special project, and we wanted to ask you permissions on something.
Okay, like what?
Well, me and Chewbacca, we know that this community means a lot to us, and we care about a lot of the people that do this. So, me and Chewbacca are working on a secret project. I'm not going to spoil it, but we're going to need the DSP community's help. And if you are interested in being a part of this, please message me or Chewbacca, and we will tell you details about what we need from you. Now, we would love to premiere this on the stream, if it's okay with you.
Okay, I mean, obviously I would say yes, but obviously I'd like to see what it is first as well before we decide what we're going to do with it.
Of course. Of course. With your permission.
Okay.
So, yeah, we would love to run it by you and see if we could premiere it when it's ready. But my main question is I remember a while back you were talking about, someday starting your own small business. And I work at my family's local business. So if you had the choice to start up your own business and, say it could be anything, what would it be?
Well, I've actually talked this out with my girlfriend Panda Lee many different times, and we've had many different ideas. Ideally, first of all, the first portion to answer that is if I want to start my own business, I want it to be mine. And when I say there is, I don't want it to be, say, a franchise. I wouldn't want to open up a Subway sandwich shop or, a McDonald's. Because unfortunately what happens with those businesses is even though you own them and they're franchised, you end up losing all control over the business. The business has to look a certain way. You have to have this on your menu. You have to do this promotion. And ultimately, it doesn't feel like your business.
I hate to interrupt you.
Okay.
But I gotta go.
Really?
Close up. But
okay.
Continue on, and I'll make sure to listen in.
All right. Very good.
All right. Bye-bye.
No problem. So he had to take off. No problem there. Let me actually get rid of the screen region. So to answer the question, actually, let me move myself to the center here until we get another caller. To answer the question, I want a business where I could have creative control. That's one of the huge things that I've loved about having this YouTube career and now Twitch TV career is that I have creative control over what I'm doing. I'm not limited to what anyone tells me to say or do. So I've had some ideas I've thrown around in my head. Local businesses, maybe a small restaurant, maybe even a coffee shop, cafe / kind of place where people could come in and get a cup of coffee, get a fresh baked bagel or pastry, sit down, have the Wi-Fi going and do stuff like that. I don't know. That's just, one of many ideas. I really haven't really realistically thought seriously about it yet, simply because I don't know where I'm going to end up. As I said, this year my goal is to move somewhere outside of Connecticut. Depending on where I am, a different business may prosper better in that location versus another one. If I move to, say, Seattle, well, there's 5 zillion coffee houses there already. It's probably not a good idea to try to open up my own independent one unless I have some kind of a creative spin on it that would attract a different kind of clientele. If I move to Texas, I probably don't want to open a barbecue rib shop because there's probably going to be 5,000 other ones that are better than me. But at the same time, again, if you could find a creative competitive advantage, maybe it makes sense. I don't know, and I'm not just saying I'm going to do food necessarily. I know that's what I'm mentioning, but I have not been able to reach that step where you get to think and then execute on it because I don't know where I'm going to end up. So I think really, realistically, once I find out where I'm moving, I'm there, I'm settled, and I kind of see what the community's like, then maybe I can begin to say, gee, this is the kind of thing that I want to do after doing YouTube full time as like its own business, okay? All right, so there's your answer. We've got 5 billion people calling in. I'm not even kidding. There's like 5 billion people calling in. There's so many people calling in right now. My computer screen is lit up like a Christmas tree with calls. So I don't even know what one to click here. I've got about 5, 6, 7 people all calling. Oh, I can't even see. Hold on. All right, I'm going to randomly answer one. I don't know anything about this. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Hello.
Oh, hello. Hold up, Mike. Shaky.
Okay. Oh, don't be shaky. Come on, man.
All right. Hold up. Let me pause the stream. It's
Yep.
I'm hearing.
No problem.
There we go.
All right, sir. So who am I speaking to right now?
Oh, my name is Kyle Crone.
Kyle, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
Good. Let me get something. I actually have a prop I want to use.
Okay. I was gonna say, look at this amazing icon that you have here. You may want to do something different.
Yeah.
Should I accept this thing here? It's a request, I guess, for video or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what happens if I try this. Whoa, there we go. Whoa, now it's way too zoomed in. Hold on a second. I can fix that. Hold on.
All right.
We can do a different screen region here. Try to get more of you to fit in there. There we go. That's much better. And as people can see, look at the number of people who are calling here on the left-hand side. Those are all people trying to call in on the side of his head there. I guess I'll have to try to resize it later. Right now, I can't really do much about that. All right, sir. So what do you got there that you want to show us?
I was going to ask what your opinion was on building computers because I am very good at it, and I know how all this stuff works, and it's actually pretty cheap if you go to like a local computer store, like we have one here. It's called DIT Computers, and they're generally a lot cheaper. The home built ones are generally a lot cheaper than stuff like Geek Squad. Like I went to go get my computers there fixed, and it was basically I spilled coffee all over this, and it melted and it burned and crashed, and I'm using my laptop, which is real shitty, and it likes to turn off, which I hope it doesn't do. But basically what I was asking is if you ever had anyone like build you a computer, I wouldn't have me build you one because I'm not very experienced and I'd probably fuck it up. So if you were going to say, instead of having to buy one at Best Buy, I would recommend going to your local computer store that you can actually go there and tell them what you want. Say, for example, you're going to do editing. You can go ask them, I want this certain type of RAM, and I want RAM that'll do video editing, and they'll say something like, you can get RAM at 2,666 megahertz, and they'll figure that all out for you.
Right.
And you can get it set up and different things. I would suggest getting 2x8, which means it's 2 sticks of 8 gigabyte, which is actually at a 266 megabytes per second. That's very fast.
Well, you're absolutely right. When it comes to PCs, and I know this from experience, building your own computer, number one, is going to be a lot less expensive than having a pre-built one. A lot of those pre-built ones, they ridiculously overprice them. Mostly because if you're buying a pre-built computer, a lot of those people don't even know what they're getting. I went to the store, the guy told me this is a good computer, so I'll just buy it. They don't know if they're actually getting value out of what they're paying for that computer. For some people, they do it for ease of use. For someone who's not so tech savvy, maybe it makes sense to go to the store and buy a pre-built computer. But for someone who's going to be tech savvy, or if you're someone who likes to learn, It's actually not that hard to build your own computers. And I'm speaking from experience because I've done so in the past. There was actually a good chunk of maybe 4 or 5 years where my hobby was building PCs. And at one point, I had 2 custom built gaming rigs at my parents' house that were LANed together. One was like across the hallway from the other. And my friends would come over and we'd play things like Unreal Tournament over the internet, from 2 different rooms. And it's very rewarding if you pick and choose the equipment that you want and to see it come together. It's like your creation. It's like you're Frankenstein and you're making your own monster. And then when you get to play that high-end game, you're like, wow, this is awesome. It's really the outcome was really well done. But it's actually, for me and my personal experience, has been a double-edged sword because I've told this story before. But what happened to me was I went away on a vacation. It wasn't really a vacation. It was me going to play Street Fighter again. But that's neither here nor there. And I left. Those 2 gaming PCs were at my parents' house. And I came back, and they said, Phil, we got real bad news for you. I said, what happened? We had a lightning storm when you were gone. A lightning bolt hit the telephone pole next to the house, and even everything that was plugged into surge protectors was destroyed. So in that one storm alone, I lost an entire one of the gaming PCs. I lost a VGA VGA upscaling box device for my Dreamcast, which cost several $100s. I lost a cable box. I lost a VCR/DVD player. I probably lost, all in all, when you add up the value of all the electronics, probably about $4,000 worth of electronics were destroyed because of this lightning bolt. And I was so pissed off that since then, I literally have been like, it took too much time, too much effort, too much blood, sweat, and tears for me to build these things and then have them die like that. I'd rather, and now this is just me, but I'm so out of the loop when it comes to building PCs. At this point in my life, I'd rather just go and pay more to get something that I know is guaranteed to work because it has a warranty for a certain amount of time. Not that I built it wrong and then, something goes wrong. But that's just me. I can completely understand why if you're tech savvy, if you're the kind of person who likes to learn, it's actually not very hard to build computers once you learn the basics, the RAM, the motherboard, the processor, the heat sink, this and that graphics card. Once you learn the basics, it's a very rewarding experience. And, I actually do. I agree with you, Kyle. I think I recommend it. If you are young and you were willing to learn, it's definitely worth it to try to build your own. If you're going to go buy one in a store, at least try to do some research or ask someone who knows about computers if you're getting a reasonable price for what you're buying. Because a lot of the times those things are overpriced for no reason just because they rely that the consumer doesn't know what they're actually getting. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I went to a Walmart. I work like 5 volunteer jobs. That's not a lie. I actually go to a transition program. But basically, I was asking a guy. I like to test people. It's kind of funny because I was like, okay, because HDMI cables. There's 2 types, version 1.0 and 2.0. Yep. 1.0 does not support 4K.
Right.
And 2.0 does. And I went there and asked him, so will this cable support my PS4 to its fullest abilities? And I looked on the back and it said it was 1.0. I said, oh yeah, you can get all of it is out there. I'm like, do you know this thing is not 4K? And if I try to watch a 4K movie on the thing, although 4K is not there yet, and it won't show in 4K, it'll only show in 1080p. Right. And he's like, oh, and then he went to some excuse like, oh, it's just that's just for laptops, and like you want to go look at this, and we don't have any 4K cables in stock.
That's the other thing you got to be wary about when you go to these stores is that a lot of these people, quite honestly, they're just kids. The kids who are in the store, they got a job there, they didn't get sufficient training, they're bullshitting their way through the answers, and a lot of times they don't even have the answers for you. So you really have to be careful when you're going to a retail store to buy anything to make sure that you are educating yourself beforehand or before you drop money. You could have went and spent $50 on an HDMI cable, go home, it doesn't work, then you go back, oh well, you opened it, we're not taking it back. And you're like
Oh yeah, the funny thing is when I work at Walmart, I have to put shit away on the counters and like stuff. When I go there, I always buy these things. As you can see, I got like 500 of them in the background. They're Transformer toys. I'm obsessed with that. But it's like the shit they want me to put away. I'm like holding this toy, and it's like it's a computer part, and I'm like the thing's halfway open, it's missing half the parts, and I had to put it back like 5 times.
All right, well, Kyle, I want to thank you for your call. I think I'm going to let you go, get some other people's chance to jump in here, but you made it. You were caller number 2, so thanks for calling, and I'll talk to you later. All right, buddy?
All right, thanks. I've been a long-time fan, 5 years. I've first
awesome.
Followed.
Awesome. And now finally you can actually call me on the show. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, very good. Let me go ahead. Whoa. I just got a crazy pop-up message. I don't know what it means. I'm going to get rid of that. All right, here we go. I see many, many people calling in. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to grab... I can't really read any of the names because they're tiny. Let's go ahead and take this one. Boom. Hello. 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 All right, nobody there. Hang up on that one. All right, let's try a new one. Let us try this one. Hello. Hello? Uh-oh, don't tell me something's gone.
Oh.
Whoa.
Hello?
Oh, hello, yes.
Oh.
Who is this? Who am I speaking with?
Oh, this is Lady Gates 1-5.
Oh, hey, Lady Gates. I recognize your name.
I'm listening to the stream chat on my phone. I'm like, what? Oh, I'm scared. Sorry.
So how's it going tonight?
It's fine. I was just calling to say I've been a big fan of yours since God of War 3. I'm so happy that we're in this community. I've met some awesome people in the stream chat. So I'm like, so that's all I wanted to say. Keep it up, Phil. You're awesome. DSP positive. So.
All right, and hey, if my plans go the way that I want them to go, by the way, thank you for the compliments. I appreciate that. This year, I mean, very shortly, very soon, I want to purchase the website, thekingofhate.com. I want to own that so that not only can you guys have a place to interact, say, in the stream chat, but you'll have a home where you can go talk on forums, you can have independent discussions about other stuff. It's real tough right now because that website has always been owned by a third party, and I've never been able to make it look how I wanted to. I've never been able to make it to have the functionality that I wanted it to have, and now I'm finally going to have that. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this goes through within the next week or two. I'm still waiting on the website owner to respond to me and tell me when we're going to set up a Skype call so that we can figure out how to migrate all the stuff over. I actually already own the web space, but I think that would be a great opportunity for people like you who, you love interacting with people in the stream chat, but, when I'm not live streaming, you can even take it to the forums and talk about stuff there and to have cool, better contests and things going on constantly. So hopefully if everything goes, along according to plan, next few weeks we'll have that going. And I'll have more information on that when we get closer to it. So,
all right.
Anything else? Or is that's it for tonight? Just kind of chilling.
Yeah, chilling.
All right. Well, thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, moving along here. Calls are working swimmingly. Let's see who we got. We got a ton of people. I'm still trying to see. Let's try this one. See if this works. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, who is this? Who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Connor from Scotland.
Wow. Connor from Scotland is quite late there, isn't it?
It is exactly 17 minutes past 3 in the morning.
Holy crap, you are up very late.
Always am.
So what's going on?
I'd just like to say that, I've been following you since like 2009, and you've had a hell of a ride.
It's true.
You've been hated on. You've been up and down. You've had heavy rain highs, and you've had lows. But throughout it all, you've always kept this sort of positive standing, and I really got to say I appreciate that. You really helped me to deal with a lot of things in my own social life over the past a lot of years, and I want to thank you for being the most awesome person I've ever found on the internet and the most genuine guy that I'll ever see. So, thanks.
Well, that's high praise. I thank you very much for that compliment. And, it's like I've said, even though last year I openly admit I did get derailed a little bit with some negativity, worrying about what was going to happen if I were able to continue to do this, you got to stay positive. If with all the negative shit around you, it's so easy to get overwhelmed by the negative, to say, look, 20 negative things happened to me in the past week. How am I supposed to move on when I got nothing positive to look forward to? But I guarantee you, no matter who you are, you can find something positive in your life that you can focus on. And it may not be the immediate thing, but eventually things are going to get better. And as long as you push forward with a positive attitude, you should be successful. Now, of course, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. Who knows where this crazy ride's going to go? I've been doing this since, 2008? doing it full time since late 2010. And at a moment's notice, the nature of what I do, it could change. What if with this new net neutrality law, my ISP all of a sudden limits me and says you can only use YouTube a certain amount a week or something. Who knows? But it's always been like that. But I do want to say thank you for supporting me, for being there for me, for watching the content, for sticking in there at times when it seems like a lot of people are teaming up against me or ganging up against me because they're trying to get their own personal gain, especially in 2013 when a lot of that happened. The people who stuck in there and are still standing by and watching my content and supporting me and sending me awesome messages, and people like you calling in and giving me these awesome positive messages, this is what keeps me going. It's like I said in my Christmas special. I could have all this negativity going on, but as long as I know that I'm genuinely helping people with entertaining content, I'm not going to stop. So your positivity is letting me to go ahead, and my positivity is letting you go ahead, so it works out both ways.
We're a great team.
We are a great team, sir. So anything else, any questions or anything else you want to talk about tonight?
One thing about the Tim Schafer double fine thing.
Yes.
I'm on the same fence, because since you brought it up, I've been analysing it in my head back and forth. But it seems like both people are to blame, but I think Tim Schafer is a little bit worse because he left it last minute, therefore the Let's Players retaliated and said, well, we're going to just upload it anyway. If they had said earlier on, they might have been like, well, that's been disclosed now, we shouldn't release it until the release date, Right.
No, and I agree that the whole thing is with retail games, there's always an embargo date. You know that you can't upload, you can't stream, you can't do any of that until the game's released with a formal street date. It's just that this game, since it was so unique that it was a Kickstarter, is digital distribution, there technically was no street date for the game, and I think that's where all the controversy kind of came into play. If anything, I hope that future game developers who in the future are releasing their games digitally and they're giving advance copies to certain people for whatever reason, whether it's Kickstarter funded or not, that they have the foresight to think about that. Because you're right, if they had said day one in the Kickstarter, oh, well, you'll get an advance copy, but please know there'll be an embargo date, I don't think anyone would have had a leg to stand on when it came to complaining. But the fact that it wasn't brought up until literally hours before you got your code to play the game, that's really where the controversy came into play. So I agree with you there. I actually think you're correct.
Well, thank you, and I'll let you go and call some other people, but thanks very much for having me on, and I'm great that it's out of beta and everything I've said, and keep on going, man.
All right, thank you, sir, for the call. Appreciate it.
See you later.
Have a good night. All right, this segment is going well. I did not think it would go this well. The calls are working. We're having meaningful conversations. I can't believe it. All right, so now let's grab another caller who will probably flip that on his head and ruin everything. Here we go. Let's see. I'm trying to. I'm trying to take more people than names that I don't recognize, but I'm gonna take a couple people here that I do recognize. Here, let's see here. Here we go. Let's see if this works. Oh, wait a minute, it went away. Oh my God, you know what it is? So many people are calling. The calls keep overlapping each other before I even have a chance to click who I want to click. Let me turn off the screen region, by the way. Here we go. Shit. I can't even click on the... Here, maybe if I close some of these that are older, the new ones will appear. Yeah, it's working. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Sorry, if you called within the last couple seconds. I was going to answer and I couldn't pick up. It was like glitching out on me. All right, let's try this one. Hello.
Oh, wow.
Hello,
This
sir.
worked.
Yeah, it works.
Oh, thank God for that.
Can
I
you-
was kind of worried because, like, as soon as you said, I just heard you say on the stream that apparently new calls are coming in, so I quickly just hung up and then called again.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
happening? There's so many people calling that the new call appears at the top of the screen, but immediately the next call overlaps it. But it was because my screen was filled, so once I clicked out all the other windows, they started appearing again, and that's how I saw your call pop up.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm just sneaky like that. Just sneaky.
So how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing okay. It's as our Scottish friend just said, about 20 past 3 in the morning.
Wow. Yeah, we just had two Scottish callers in one call.
Oh man, it's so good.
So what are you doing tonight? What's going on?
Well, I have work in about, I don't know, 9 hours.
Oh,
no,
jeez.
not 8, no, 6 hours.
6 hours. 6 hours.
So I thought, it's the return of Hate Live. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna enjoy the show. I'm gonna see that Cal dude was awesome. He had like an immense Transformers collection.
Yeah, did you see that? That was cool. That's why when I brought up the picture and it only had his head, I said, wait a minute, I got to get the background. So I had to redo it to show that. It was awesome.
Well, yeah. I just wanted to ask you about the whole net neutrality thing, because it's kind of interesting, because over in the UK we've had our own internet kind of like filter kind of thing.
Okay.
Where our prime minister is pushing for this filter to be applied to our internet, and basically is to try and protect the children from
wasn't it from porn? Yeah, I heard this. I heard this.
And shit.
Yeah.
But basically, they've made like every single ISP have these like levels of filters, and the only one you can't turn off is malware and like spyware and things like that.
Huh.
But it was hilarious because when they first did put these filters on, the filters were made like a separate company. They weren't the actual ISPs. The ISPs got this other company to put in this tech.
Okay.
And they ended up blocking like certain legitimate sites like Childline, which is like a charity for children suffering from abuse.
And see, that's what I mean. It's going to be, whenever you have censorship, it's a slippery slope. Because first of all, how far is too far? What's the stuff? Who's to say that this is what my child needs to be censored from? Who's to say that, I don't judge as a parent that I think that my child's old enough to see this, but not this. But then you're going to have a situation like this where it's completely unintentional. What if with this net neutrality, they say, okay, we're going to put filters in here, here, and here. And then all of a sudden there's some completely unforeseen circumstance and no one can see a YouTube video. Like it just won't load or something.
Hey, here's this great YouTube video for victims of rape and how to deal with the consequences and the aftermath of rape. Blocked. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of thing that's going to happen. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But it sucks what's happening because from what I've been reading on the net neutrality thing, you're going to get some really bad stuff. Like, I mean, you could easily get an ISP to like restrict, because the way I was made aware is that they can prioritize certain things. So some things might take longer to get through than others and things like that.
Right.
And so apparently, like things like Netflix could get like more expensive.
Yes.
Because it needs more bandwidth to be able to be streamed and stuff like that. So basically, they're giving ISPs complete control over private companies and like what they're able to charge their customers, because it's not neutral the way it should be with a free internet.
You're absolutely right. And in fact, what's been rumored is what the attempt here is because so many of these streaming companies have come out, Hulu, Netflix, Vudu, whatever the hell they're called, that they're eating up the bandwidth of the internet. And what these ISPs now are going to do is behind the scenes, they're going to go and say, hey, Netflix, you want to be able to keep having your business operate the way that it's been doing? You got to give us some money, or you got to pay for special prioritization or something so that your customers will keep getting your content the way that they've been getting it. And I mean, to be completely honest, it's been a wild west. This past 10, 15 years where the internet's really been burgeoning and growing and changing has been the wild west because no one knew what to expect. Do you really think in the middle of the 1990s, when it took me 5 minutes to download one picture off of AOL, that I thought that in the year 2014, I'd be able to live stream a movie that's 1080p, high resolution live like this? Of course not. And I think that there wasn't really a lot of forethought or future thought when it came to technology and how it was going to advance, how it was going to affect these companies. So now, all of a sudden, the ISPs are saying, we're providing a tremendous amount of bandwidth, and we're paying what, $60, $80 a month, whatever they're charging people for the highest quality level of internet, and they're saying we can make a lot more. And that's really what this is an attempt at. It's a snatch and grab. Let's change the law so that people just don't have everything that they want, this all-you-can-eat kind of mentality with the internet, and we're going to regulate it. And you're right, it's scary. It's absolutely scary when it comes to entire businesses. Now, if that happens, what's going to happen to things like Netflix and Vudu? What if they don't want to pay or they can't pay? So now their business goes out of business? And that's going to change a lot of stuff.
So it's an entire conspiracy. It's an entire conspiracy. I'm telling you, like, we're going to get down to the bottom of it. It's going to be like people like at the tops of like TV companies just going to be sat there like, ha. They're going to have like the entire internet on a switchboard. It's like, Netflix, go down.
Yes.
Hulu, down.
Yes, our new popular TV show's on tonight. flick off Netflix so that no one can watch Netflix. They'll turn on their TVs and watch the new show that's premiering, you know?
It sounds like a James Bond
What's
film.
this? What's that? I just got a text. American Idol ratings are down. Turn everything off. All right, sir. Well, thank you for your call. I appreciate it. Probably going to get one or two more people in here tonight, so I'm going to let you go. But thank you. And, hey, future episodes, I'm planning on having segments of call-ins. They're not going to be, huge segments like I'm doing today, but I will hopefully, be able to hear from you in the future as well.
Definitely, sir.
And by the way, I want to thank you for everything you do for the community, too, between moderating and all kinds of stuff. I know you do a lot for me. I'm very appreciative of that, sir.
Oh, thank you very, very much. I appreciate those comments. And everyone in the stream chat is awesome.
There you
go. Especially everyone saying that I look like I'm 14 years old, you bastards.
All right. Thank you, sir. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. We'll probably try to squeeze one or two more people in here. Hold on. I'm going to close out all these windows again because, like I said, unfortunately what's happening is these windows that are open while I'm talking to people are taking up my whole screen, and I'm not seeing the new callers come in. Oh, let's see if we can get this one. Hello.
Hi.
Well, hey there.
Finally.
Who could this possibly be?
Thanks. I was only the first person that tried calling in. Thanks for ignoring me.
Well, I couldn't even see you because I have so many callers on my screen.
Oh,
you don't believe me? I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. Because people don't believe me. Fine. Watch this. Ready? This is what I see on my screen right now. This.
Excuses.
This is my computer.
If you loved me, you would have seen me.
I can't see.
Me instantly,
I
and
can't see anything on the computer.
You know what? I was gonna get Howard Stern on here, and now I'm not gonna. I'm gonna call him and say this show sucks. Don't ever come on. No interviews.
Well, that's
Lisa
messed
Ann,
up.
done. Jenna Jameson, done.
That's messed up.
Now
Jenna Jameson, I don't want on the show. Come on, she looks horrible now. That's terrible. She barely looks human. It's like a skeleton. So, for those of you who don't know, though I'm sure there's very few people who don't know, this is my girlfriend, Leanna.
If anyone didn't figure it out by now, there's a serious, serious problem.
It looks like
someone's been under a rock for 2 years.
And it looks like Yara has gotten hold of some kind of a delicious treat.
I figured that was the only way you would know it was really me and not a troll, so I picked a really stupid picture and moved on.
Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I did see that picture. That's how I knew it was you, because there's so many things, so many people are popping up right now. It's absolutely nuts.
I wonder if there's gonna be any trolls in the future, trying to impersonate people. Like Barack Obama's gonna try to call in. It's gonna
of course. This is Barack Obama, and I'm calling in to say that you are a disgrace to the American people.
If this ISP thing works out, if you don't take one of their calls, they might shut your stream down.
Yeah, I know. All right, so anything in particular you want to talk about?
Well, I think with this ISP thing, I don't think it's going to go down. If Sopa and Pippa didn't stand a chance, I really don't think this will happen, simply because no matter what your opinion is on YouTube, what your opinion is on streaming games, video games, there are 3 things you don't mess with. Porn, illegal downloading of movies, and illegal downloading of music. You do not mess with those things. That will get every American up in arms if they do anything to tamper with that. Especially if they're trying to do multiple things at once, like downloading music while they're downloading the last season of Breaking Bad while watching Lisa Ann.
There you go.
I don't know. That was the only one I knew, so I just picked a porn star.
Well, I think where the real concern here is that, unlike with Sopa and Pippa, where it was a law that was being, say, drawn up by the American government, this is actually 3 federal judges who have ruled on an existing case. So there's already laws in place.
Nobody takes the federal judges seriously anymore. Have you seen the quotes from Anthony Scalia?
Well,
Jesus,
I'm just saying, regardless of what this event basically is going to turn into, it seems to be more serious than the Sopa and Pippa, because that was more developmental stages. There's already a law in place, and these judges have made a ruling on this, basically saying, no, it's not what you think it is. Net neutrality doesn't exist. So that's why people are so afraid. Whether or not it'll actually be implemented the way that people are alluding to remains to be seen.
Well, there's also a law that says you can't tie a giraffe to a telephone pole in Georgia, but I don't see any cops giving out tickets if someone were to do it. So.
Well, maybe we're just going to have to put that to the test this year in our travels. We'll tie some animals up and we'll see what happens. I think it was just one. You can't walk an alligator down the street in Texas or something like that.
I don't know.
I know.
Who knows these days? But But seriously, I think the problem is with this is that the federal judges, they're all really old people. And no offense to old people, but with newer technology, you need younger people that actually can figure it out. Like, we need someone that can understand the inner workings of the internet and computers and modern technology. That's why I'm willing to take Anthony Scalia's place, because he's the worst of them all. He has the dumbest quotes, and I will even do his job for only $8 an hour. So,
well, you make an interesting point. The big problem with our United States government is that, unfortunately, more often than not, the reason when you have a lawmaker, why you have maybe a federal judge who's trying to push these weird laws, who's trying to make these kind of rulings, is because they've got a corporation in their ear like this. Hey, guess what? If you help me with this, I'll help fund your next campaign. I'll support your non-for-profit. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And I don't know how we have a government where we allow this, how we allow lobbying, how we allow this. It's blatant, just crime. It's being crooked.
no, it is.
It's being dishonest.
It's obvious corruption. Here's the funny part about corruption. Say one of those guys, he goes to a bunch of people, attempt to get reelected, doesn't get reelected for whatever reason, despite all the 10,000 corporate backers. Do you think they're going to care about him once he's out of office?
No,
Nobody will
not.
care when someone's out of office. They're just going to hop from person to person to person to person. It's all a big game of Frogger.
All right, well, I appreciate you calling in, honey. I'm going to let you go. Probably get one more caller in here tonight.
Okay, you have fun.
All right, thank you, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, we got all kinds of callers here tonight. Maybe my mom will call in next. All right, last run. I'm gonna take one more call tonight, everyone. I appreciate everyone who's trying to call in. I know there's a ton of you trying to get in, and I apologize for that. I can't get you all, but I'm gonna try to get one more person in here tonight. Here we go, and it's the first person that popped up right in front of me. Here it is. Hello.
This show fucking sucks. Like, I'm glad to ruin your day, cocksucker.
Excellent. No, hold on. Let's get this guy on. Hold on. That's fine. Here you go. Here he is. Here he is. Here's a guy who took his time out. He's actually been trying to call in the whole show, by the way. So he's actually been sitting at his computer wasting his time to try to do a lame attempt at pranking. So...
God, I'm talking this kind of shit. Don't be
This is good. That was a good call. Oh, he hung up. Oh, see, I had a question for him. Oh, come on, man. I had a question. I was going to ask him how many dicks he could fit in his mouth at once, because obviously he's had a lot of practice, and I wanted to see how he's been doing on that project. But anyway, all right, so we got that. That was good. We'll take one more caller since that one wasn't a serious one. Let's see here. Let's do... So many names popping up right now. It's absolutely out of control. I can't... What is that name? Can't really read it. All right, let's try this one. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, is anyone there?
Hey. Hello.
Hello, who is this? Who am I speaking with?
I am Alex.
Hello, Alex. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome.
Any particular thing you'd like to talk about tonight?
Well, I want to say that you're doing a great job doing your past week, doing here. I love your content, and I love Happy Rain. I was Happy Rain ever since. I like your content.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that.
You're really welcome. I really like Happy Rain. Like, I am your biggest fan, and you're doing a really good job.
Thank you, sir. Any questions or anything in particular tonight that you'd like to talk about?
What games are you most anticipating for this year?
That's a great question. And the thing is, it's a tough question to answer because since this year is a unique year where we've got the new consoles that were just released, and it's kind of a transitional year where a lot of these game developers are going to be making games for the new consoles, and therefore we really don't know what to expect. We don't know what's going to be coming out. We don't know a lot of the times what the release dates are. But out of the games that I've seen that I guess are going to concretely come out this year, I would say that Watch Dogs #1. That was one of the ones I was really looking forward to last year, and I was really disappointed that it got delayed. So Watch Dogs is definitely up there on the list for me. I know a lot of people will probably give me shit for this, but I'm going to be honest. Dark Souls 2, I'm actually looking forward to because it's going to be a different situation where I get to play the game live on stream and people interacting with me, even though a lot of people won't know what's coming. I think it's going to be hilarious seeing me die to some of the ridiculous stuff in the game, playing it live on stream. I'm actually really looking forward to that one. Outside of that, there's some other good one. Titanfall. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the Xbox One with FPS games in this game, Titanfall, and will it really be the next gen FPS game like a lot of people are touting it to be, or is it going to be more just like a game that they really hyped up and it doesn't live up to its expectations? You got Destiny, the next game from Bungie, which if it lives up to its potential, I actually just read an article in Game Informer all about it. If it lives up to its potential of what they're saying it could do, it could be amazing. But I guess, again, it's such an uncertain time with these new consoles to know if the things that people are developing for them are going to live up to the hype, or is it going to be just kind of like, it kind of is like last gen, only with slightly better graphics. So that's just a few of them off the top of my head. I know there's a lot more that's going to be coming out this year, but it's hard to pinpoint and say this is what I want I'm looking forward to, because when I did my update, I'm actually looking at my calendar right now, my gaming schedule calendar. Almost nothing had dates, nothing had solid release dates to know what's coming out. So I try not to hype myself up too much until I know exactly what's coming out and when it's coming out. But I am looking forward this year mostly to next gen titles, and let's see if this next generation of consoles live up to the hype that they've had for this past, year or so.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to seeing all the new games on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Me too. All right. Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm so excited for the new game, Infamous Second Son.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even mention that one. Absolutely, that one looks great. It absolutely looks like it's going to be really good. So. All right, well, Alex, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Appreciate that. You made it to the inaugural non-beta show of Hate Live, and yeah, like I said, I will be taking callers in the future. So feel free in the future when I am taking callers to give us a call back. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You're very welcome. Have a good night.
Good night. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's in the bag. Our very first Skype segment, and we did it without dying. We only had one troll, and I managed to get the best of him because he idiotically hung up the phone before he actually heard what I was going to say to him. All right, so I thought that was good. All right, so what we're going to do now, the Skype segment is officially over, so I would ask anyone who's still continuously calling me here to not bother, because I just closed my Skype, and therefore I won't even see it. All right, I'm going to take a short break. Then we're going to come back, and for about 15 minutes, we're going to pull stream Q&A questions, and that's going to be it for this episode, all right? So thanks, everyone. I'll be right back in a few short minutes for the stream Q&A. Don't go anywhere. Whew. Well, we did it, everyone. The very first call-in segment's in the bag, and it went better than I expected it to go. So I'm very pleased tonight. Thank you for bearing with me, figuring out how to use Skype over the the weeks that I do Hate Live. Obviously, I'll get a little bit better at that. All right, so now, in true Hate Live fashion, let's end the first official non-beta show with some stream Q&A, which of course always works perfectly, 100%, always has pertinent, on-topic, interesting, intelligent questions, and will send us into deep, intelligent, intellectual thought until next week's show. All right, so let's go ahead, everyone. Let's ask the stream moderators to please go ahead, close the stream raffle, and let's pick a couple questions to end the show. This is not going to go well. I know it's not. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm ready. I'm ready. Send me your worst. Here we go. Wait a minute. Here we go. Okay, it worked. Here we go. First question is from Dragon's Revenge. Oh my God. The raffle corrupted again. It worked the other day. It corrupted again. Here, I'll read the question. Hold on. We're going to read the question. We're going to read it. From Dragon's Revenge, he says, here we go. Here's a great question. English, I academic, and any been believe business but chosen college computer. Could field for found, had in interesting interests been mentioned on option? Or other raffle really school? Science some switched and then to were you. Hold on, guys. I got an idea. Here's what we'll do. Here's how we'll do. Pull a question, okay? And then immediately take the stream out of sub-only mode and let the person who asked the question re-ask it properly. That's what we'll do, okay? So let's take it. We pulled it. It was, what was the name? Dragon's Revenge. Let's go out of sub-only mode. Dragon's Revenge, I'm sure you're watching. Please now retype your question when it goes out of sub-only mode, and I'll answer your question, and then we'll do it again. We'll draw, and then we'll have the next person ask, etc., okay? That's how we're going to have to do it. I don't know what happened, because earlier this week this happened. Last week with Ask the King, Moobot was broken, and I fixed it. Like, I had to leave and come back, and then we tried some samples, and it worked. So I have no idea why it doesn't work again. All right. So Dragon's Revenge, it's out of sub-only mode. Please ask your question again. I'm waiting to see if he's going to ask again. He's not, I don't see anything yet. Maybe he's typing out the question. I'm not sure. Here we go. You chose computer science for college, I believe, correct, then switched to business. Did you have any other field or interest in school, in life, like English or something? See, this will work. Now, guys, put it back in sub mode. Pull the next question. By the time I'm done answering this one, we can have this guy type up his question, okay? Did I have other interests? I mean, I've always had other interests. One thing I was very interested in at one point was psychology. And a lot of people tell me that to this day, I'm really good at reading people. By knowing very limited information about someone, I can pretty much figure out who they are and why they ask certain things, or why they behave certain ways. And I'm fascinated by that science of trying to figure out, based off of life experiences, based off of conditioning, the psychological aspect of someone and why they think the way they do or they act the way they do. And it was something I dabbled in a little bit, and I thought maybe one day I'd pursue it further, but I never really got to. Earlier, I mean, my high school and college life was a whirlwind. All right, my high school life, I was in a few AP classes that took up a lot of my time. And when it came time for college, I applied to a bunch of colleges. And, I mean, I'm going to be honest with everyone. I had incredibly good grades. I had extracurricular activities under my belt. I had every kind of criteria that basically would have qualified me for an upper echelon college. I did apply. I'm not gonna try to be a dick and name the colleges or anything. I applied for upper echelon colleges, and they basically all turned me down with kind of in the looming background what they're basically saying was your qualifications were great, but we're not gonna accept you. Here's what that really means: your qualifications were great, but you don't have any relatives that went to this college. You're not in a rich family. You'll probably need financial aid to come here. You're not a minority so that we can help reach our minority quotas for our school. So fuck you. We don't actually want the smartest people. We just want an elite fucking group that we can keep at the top of the food chain. So when it really came down to it, when I got to college, I was a little bit disheartened because I worked my ass off in high school and it didn't pay off. I ended up having to go to like a mid-level college, and it is what it is. When I got there, it was more like I was really into computer science, video games. That was the hot thing at the time. And then unfortunately, when my computer science teacher ended up being a joke, I kind of had to do a scramble to figure out what on earth I was going to do in place of that. And it ended up just being business simply because that's all that was really good at that school that I was going to, Fairfield University. And so, yeah, there were other interests that I've had. At one point, I was actually researching many different religions. I was trying to find out what are the basis of these religions, the core of these things. And I had a lot of research and stuff into that at one point during my college career. But I really never had time to pursue anything else. I was always so busy between college. And unlike a lot of other college kids, I had always had a job. So either I was in school working on schoolwork, or I was at my job working, or I was playing Street Fighter. It was one of those three things. I really didn't have time to pursue other wider, broader academic interests. Okay. So, I'm assuming that the mods have pulled one or two more questions. If you guys could take it out of sub mode so that those people can resubmit their questions properly. I don't know what's going on right now. I hate that the stream is so goddamn delayed. I hate it. We're 30 seconds delay. I sit here like an asshole with my thumb up my ass waiting for people to respond because Twitch fucked up their business because they changed the way the coding works on the streams because they knew that with the Xbox One and the PS4 streaming that it was going to take up more capacity than they could handle. So they recoded all their stuff and now it all is delayed 30 seconds. Fucking stupid. And I don't know, we're not going out, for some reason we're not going out of sub mode, so I have no questions to answer. That was a dumb question anyway. Raffle thing, what is this? Whoa, the raffle is in alphabetical order. How weird. Alright, here's a question. Given the issues with your current video editor giving you so many issues, what editor do you use and why don't you switch to a better program? I can answer that. Give me a second because I'll open it and I'll tell you what the hell the name of it is. It is... There it is. It's called AVS Video Editor. Actually comes with a suite of programs, including a program that converts one video format to another, one that does like basic sound editing, one that does this video editing, and I bought it several years ago. I mean, I'm talking probably 2009, 2010, when I first started doing my year-end videos, because at that point, the first year that I did it, 2008, I used Windows Movie Maker, and that was a fucking piece of shit program, let me tell you. So I decided in 2009, 2010, I was going to get a better one, and this one was kind of cheap. It was only, I think, if I remember at the time, like $50. And it did what I wanted at the time, but as you know, now that I'm advancing, I'm growing, and I'm doing more complex work, it's just not good enough for what I'm doing. It crashes a lot, has memory holes, memory leaks. Why don't I use a better one? I've said this many times, because look at me and look at my schedule. Do I take days off? Not really. The days that I take off are just spent with my girlfriend. It's not like I take a day off and I sit here on my ass like this. This is relaxing. You know, I don't do that. When I'm here, I'm working. I'm playing games, 8 hours a day. I'm uploading. I'm brainstorming. I'm encoding. I'm live streaming. I'm doing a ton of stuff. I don't have time to just sit here and learn how to use Sony Vegas. You know what I mean? I probably could learn to use Sony Vegas if I had time where I wasn't doing videos all the time. So for example, if you remember during this month of December, a lot of that month, I do one stream of gameplay, and the second half of the day I do video editing. So if I did that for 2 months, and I only had half the footage out that I usually put out, I could probably learn how to use Sony Vegas. The problem is, I need to make videos to make money, you know what I mean? And like I said, I am playing games for fun, but I also got to understand that this is my job. It would be like saying to my job, well, I'm only going to work 4 hours for the next 2 months, of 4 hours a day, so I can learn to do something else that eventually will advance me at the job. The job will probably say, then who's going to do your other 4 hours of work? No. So it's kind of the same thing here. If I ever do a better video editing program, it probably will be something like Sony Vegas. But for now, I'm stuck with this AVS. For the amount of video editing that I don't do a lot of it anyway. So if I were like these other bigger YouTubers and make two videos, 1-2 videos a day, and all I do is video edit them, crazy shit in them, then yeah, I'd probably try to use a better video editor. But for what I do, it is what it is. What I use has been at least sufficient. No one has really complained with the year-end. Especially this year, I noticed. The year-end videos, almost no one complained about audio jumps or skips or problems because there weren't none. I think I finally at least worked that out to the point where there's not that stuff going on. Okay? All right. Let's do one more question from the stream Q&A. Again, the stream Q&A is fucking up, and I apologize for that, everyone. We're going to have to try to get to the bottom of this and figure out what's going on with it. I don't know. All right, the final question. I can't tell what anything is because now I've got 100 people all asking questions, and I don't know which one was the one from the stream. Oh, okay. Apparently it was, will you bring back some of the old top 10 year-end series, like the most racist moments, etc.? I mean, I could. I absolutely could. I don't know if people would take it the wrong way, especially in this day and age when there's already a group of people out there who their whole intention is to make me look bad. Should I really be doing top 10 racist moments? You know what I mean? It's a little different. The year that I did that was a year when people were really, it was the first year where I was doing full-time YouTube and people were really excited about my content. Now it's more like there's this huge negative cloud out there. Do you really want to be doing stuff about racism and stuff like that? I get the joke. You get the joke. But it doesn't mean that the thousands and thousands of people out there are going to get the joke. And the last thing I need is more negative press. It's kind of similar to when I did, the friend request ridicules, where I was making fun of people. And I'll be honest, sometimes it was kind of malicious. Even though it was just in good fun, I wasn't really trying to hurt those people. Some people could have taken that the wrong way, and so I decided to discontinue that, and it turned into Ask the King, which I think is a much more productive, positive, and overall better series than Friend Request Ridicule ever was, okay? All right, well, excuse me. I guess that's going to be it for the stream questions. I apologize yet again, everyone. I don't know what happened with the stream raffle. It went to hell in a handbasket again, and I don't know how to fix it. I don't know if any of my mods have any idea about Moobot and how we can fix it, but this kind of sucks. At least now, what I can say is this: we do have Skype, so God forbid if in the future we can't get the raffle to work anymore, we can always have Skype for people calling in instead, which we may end up having to do. Who knows? But I want to thank everyone on stream tonight. I want to thank everyone on YouTube for watching the first episode of Hate Live out of beta. We've made it. We've got live callers working. We've got extra segments. We've got cool stuff going on. Thank you, everyone who's been patient and hung in there with me. I know that a lot of people are saying the audio sync's a tiny bit off. If it is, I'll watch the video back, obviously. If it is, I'll do my best to fix it for the next episode next week. And yes, Hate Live will be returning in 1 week from today. So mark your calendars. Next week, there will be more live callers, but it will be the return of back in the day. Just so everybody knows. It will be back next week, so don't worry. Think, oh no, it went away forever because Phil's going to take calls. No, I took a lot of calls this show. I won't be taking that many in future podcasts, but it is what it is. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to all of our callers. Thank you for everyone who watched. Thank you for the mods. Thank you for everything, everybody. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow for new gameplay. For me, it's an exciting day because I get to beat Blue Dragon, which I've been looking forward to, and a return to Fallout. I'm really looking forward to co-op with John this weekend. A lot of positive stuff on the horizon. Thanks for sticking in there and watching. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for joining the show tonight. Hate Live in full effect for 2014. See you later. Peace out.